Hi, my name is Vered Leb. I'm from Israel, and I'm very excited to record this presentation for you for the International Lactation League Lactation Conference. English is not my first language, but so if I'm a little bit excited, then it will be shown in my speech, of course, like everyone else, but I'll try to do my best for you. And today we will discuss the subject of nutrition while breastfeeding, which is a subject that many mothers are interested in, even in the pre-era, let's say, in the pregnancy. So there are many questions regarding this topic, and I'll do my best to try and give you some insights about the way I see things in this very interesting subject, which is, of course, it's an everyday field for all of us, because we all eat every day. We need to eat every day, and we want to nourish our bodies in the best way possible, especially while pregnant or breastfeeding our babies. So let's start. I'll share my screen and we go from here. All right. So, as I said, my name is Vered Leb. I live in Israel. I'm a Lactation League leader in the past 15 years. And I'm also a lactation consultant, board certified IBCLC. Another hat that I wear, professional hat, is a naturopathic, a naturopath, which is an area from the alternative medicine that deals with lifestyle choices, healthy lifestyle choices, nutrition, etc. So my main focus is that. There are also naturopaths which will also deal with other sorts of unconventional medicine fields, but this is my specialty and my greatest passion. In the recent years, I also work with emotional support mainly for women who are in the, let's say, pregnancy field, which is like before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, to try to talk about things that happened during labor, after, in the periods that come after, etc. Women that want to have children but cannot, in many different aspects, and so it's a very interesting field, which links for me very naturally with the other hats that I wear in my clinic. So I said that I live in Israel. I live in the southernmost part of Israel. It's called the Negev, which is a desert area. It's a very beautiful desert area. My settlement is actually, for those of you who are familiar a little bit with Israel or Israeli history, we live in the place where the first Prime Minister of Israel, David Ben-Gurion, and his wife Paula are buried. They lived in a kibbutz really nearby here. So their grave is in our settlement, little village, if you want. It's a small place. And I live here with my family for the past 6 years. And we enjoy the desert very much. It's really quiet and peaceful and full of life, also animals and wildlife, and hot. Of course, it's really hot, but also dry, so not much humidity. So it's really nice. And in the winter, it's really, really cold. So because it's a bit high. So it's a very interesting place, and you're really welcome to come and visit. As I said, I wear some hats, so I'm a part of some unions and associations, which are both professional or volunteer, like Lactation League. So these are part of those. Some are local, Israeli local, and some are international. Okay. I'm also, you might be seeing me moving my little picture here from here and there because I interfere with my own slides sometimes, so I'll move myself. So I'm also a part of 3 professional lactation consultants that wrote the first, we wrote the first Israeli breastfeeding guide. It came out 5 years ago. Yeah, we're just celebrating 5 years now. So it's the first book about breastfeeding. The whole book is about breastfeeding. The first one in Hebrew. There are many books in other languages. Some of them were translated. Most of them were not translated to Hebrew. Some books, really few books were written in Hebrew, but from perspective of mothers and not like a professional information, like everything up to date and with the references and within the same, like the order of everything. So we tried to conclude all the information that was available at the time, like 5 years ago, into one coherent book, which is for mothers and families, of course, and also for professionals who want to learn more about breastfeeding in Hebrew. And so we are really proud of this book. And because I'm on this area of nutrition and special diets, I deal a lot with low carb diets in my naturopathic field. So I've noticed that there is a shortage of information in Hebrew, again, in our language, regarding the paleo diet and pregnancy and the paleo diet and breastfeeding. So I wrote those 2 ebooks. It's in Hebrew, of course, because in English there's a lot of information, and in Hebrew because we're not a lot, and it's a very small topic. Not so many people are into low carb eating, paleo diet, and carnivore or ketogenic diet and stuff like that. So I thought it's necessary to have this information for women who follow these guidelines and lifestyle and want to get pregnant and breastfeed and see how it fits their lifestyle choices. So we will begin when we think about nutrition and mothers. We want to see what's on mothers' minds when thinking about this topic. So in Israel, we have a very active Facebook group for לצ'ה, and many discussions during the day and the night, you know how it is, regarding all sorts of things. And of course, nutrition plays a big part there. So let's see what's on mothers' minds. I guess that's what's on Israeli mothers' minds is the same everywhere in the world. So I want to lose weight, which dieting during breastfeeding will not affect my milk, which is a big concern. I mean, I wanna look better for me, for myself, and feel better, but I don't want to hurt milk supply. Because I adhere to a diet without known problematic ingredients, I have had no dairy products for 24 hours. So just an example, of course, that women have specific nutritional choices or guidelines or even things that they have to do. And some of them we will choose, like I talked about, low carb diet. And this mother doesn't eat dairy products. Okay, does that affect my milk? Dieting and breastfeeding, does anyone recommend it? Dieting is not recommended during breastfeeding because it always damages the milk supply. How do we feel when we see something like that, like an announcement that has like a knowledge? Yeah, it's someone knows something maybe that we don't know, of course. So how do we feel about that? I have a 3-month-old daughter, fully breastfed. Can my milk dry up by not eating carbs? I've been avoiding carbs now for 10 days. Again, specific choice. But eat quinoa and a little fruit every day. Suddenly I don't seem to have hardly any milk. Can that happen? Should I be worried? Weight reduction while breastfeeding. What can be given up? This mother is very practical. Can she give up carbs, fat? Are dietetic foods okay? Can she eat low-fat products, or even 0% fat products. Is reduced calorie bread allowed without harming the amount or quality of the milk? So these are real concerns of everyday life because, as I said in the beginning, we eat every day. We eat while we're breastfeeding, we even eat a lot because we're hungry most of the time or many parts of the day. So we want to make sure that what we eat are the right stuff for us, for our bodies, for making milk for our babies, and influencing their future. So I will try to look at this subject in the beginning as broad as possible and from like macro perspective, and we'll try to go deeper into micro perspective during our talk here. So, balanced nutrition as far as possible. Is it possible? Is it possible to have a balanced nutrition? Can I really eat and be healthy by the food that I eat? So here I want to, of course, there are no answers, right answers, wrong answers. I just wanna advise or suggest that you pay attention here for some more aspects of our lives, not just the pure food that I take into my mouth or into my body. So some major issues to consider. What about food, water, and soil quality? We all read the papers. Some of us are read more like research, or even our researchers ourselves, and get into like more hard material information. Some of it can be a bit alarming, but there are real issues here. The quality of our food and the water and the soil is a thing. We have to consider it. So there are many options here. I mean, what water do we drink in our house every day, or do we bathe in? Okay, there are many choices today, not just the just conventional one. We can also choose different filters, different mineral water companies. It's probably different in every area of the world. Again, regarding soil, there are many things we cannot do about soil, but there are things that we can do, like organic food, buy organic food mostly, or foods without pesticides. So of course it's different from place to place in the world, but it's something that we can start to think about. Materials in the environment, like air, what's in our air, what's in the cosmetics that we consume, what's in the clean materials, housewares, plastics, electronic devices, and more. For many of those things, we have options. We can choose less harmful options, even more healthy options, okay? But we have to know it. We have to think about those things and to know what's on, what are the possibilities? What is on our shelves? Okay, we can go to the supermarket, maybe, or to the store next door, next to our house, and just take some time, not just to buy because we're very busy and we don't have time, just to take some time to walk around and look at the shelves and see what's there. What are the options? To look in the internet, to be in groups and to like talk about those topics. What are our options? The non-foods like coffee, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, things that we ingest, that we put in our bodies, some of it every day. So here also we can have choices. There are better things that are more ecological, more safe, even to minimize the consumptions of these things, even if I still want to consume those things, but I can minimize the amount, okay? And what's the connection between all these components together within our body? Who knows? Who can tell? There are not a lot of studies that are done on all these things that affect us. There are things that are done on specific things, on specific items, but all those things combined together should be a consequence to all of this. Okay, so again, I'm not here to be a bummer. Yeah, I'm here just to make those questions pop in our minds and to see what are the things that are doable for me, what's possible for me, what can I do to make my life choices, my healthcare, my lifestyle choices better for me and my family. Today, in many of the Western countries, at least that there's too much accessibility to food. What's the problem with that? It's good too that we can have food, right? But maybe we have too much food. Maybe we use food as comfort sometimes, or as something we do when we're bored or we're sad. Anxiety issues are dealt with food, etc., etc. Okay, so it's also an area we can look at. And another problem or issue, not problem, another issue that we have is lack of mobility and exercise during daily life. If before, I'm not even talking about like hard exercise, even thinking about like my parents or my grandparents didn't have a lift at home. So they used to carry the groceries, from the store that was close by. It wasn't a big supermarket that you drive to with a car, because they didn't use the car. If they had a car, then you just use it just for shopping, just used it only on weekends. Yeah. So they would buy at the next, in the neighborhood grocery store. So they would go with the bags home and walk the stairs and come home. So they would carry. So those things in many places today we don't do, because we drive with our cars everywhere, or we order online, so things come to us. Even in the place I live, which I showed you, which is a small place in the desert in the south of Israel, I can get online whatever I want, and it's delivered to my doorstep, sometimes in a matter of a day or two. Sometimes it takes a bit more, but the world is open to us, okay? So it has a price, okay? We move less. There's also a lot of stress. So stress is also something that burdens our bodies, okay? Stress can be natural, it's a good thing, it alerts us, it helps us motivate and do things and move towards things that are good for us, but it also can stop us or block us or interfere with internal things that should happen in our bodies. Many of us don't get too much sleep, or we have deficiencies in the quality of sleep. The whole area of sleep hygiene is also a major thing. And it's, of course, thanks to artificial lighting, because we have light more hours a day, so we can stay up late and we can watch more movies and series and Netflix and stay up, so we sleep less. And it also has an effect on our brains, on our hormones, etc. And also, of course, there are prior health issues or personal health issues of almost everyone has something, even if it's a genetic inclination or something that we suffer from, indigestion, pains in our body, in our back, nutritional deficiencies like anemia, allergy or intolerances to foods which are on the rise, inflammatory or autoimmune diseases which are also on the rise, and more. So in this context, is it possible to have a balanced nutrition as far as possible, as much as we can? What are the efforts that I need to do? What are the adjustments that I need to make for my life, for my family's life, for a lifestyle, for daily routine, so I can have those things in my mind? It could be too much, it could be overwhelming. So I suggest pick up one thing that is easy for you, okay? I don't know, like switching a brand of cosmetics, switching a brand of cleaning material, stuff like that, that it's doable. It might be a bit more expensive. It doesn't have to be, but it's a better choice, a smarter choice like that, okay? Ideal versus reality. We live in this gap of life. What ways do we have to take all these factors that I said in account and improve our nutrition? How much do I know? Maybe I need to learn more about it. maybe I want to follow some experts in these areas, to read more about their research, about their writings, about to get inspiration from them. Do I need support? Do I need like professional support? Maybe someone that I can talk to about my personal issues and see what changes or adjustment I can make in my own life. Most people will need some incentive to start to improve their diet or their lifestyle. Unfortunately, in many cases, it's a wrong kind of incentive, like an illness or a complication or something that doesn't happen like I want to, like I can't get pregnant easily, like my sister or my friends. Or maybe for someone, I can make changes for the fetus because I'm pregnant, for my baby, for my child. Then I will be willing to make a change, okay, to do something, not for myself now. For myself, I can be okay, but for someone else, for a better cause, yeah, that's it. So find the cause. You can find the cause for that. Fear can be a motivator, but it hides in self. Fear in itself, I don't think it's a bad thing, because again, it motivates us. It shows us which way to go. If there's so much fear here, maybe it's not good for me to go to that area, so I'll keep on going here. But fear hides also a lot of pressure, responsibility, stress. So these things can be a bit too much. And the ideal area, maybe talk about supplements. Should I need supplements? Does everybody need supplements? What are good supplements? Maybe I'll take it just in case, so my nutrition is okay, but I'll take this so I'll be better, okay? Or maybe it's a compromise because I see that I cannot eat all the things I want to eat because I don't like it, because I don't have time, because it's expensive or whatever, because I'll cook only for myself and the other people in the family, they won't eat it. So maybe supplements are a compromise, okay? As I said, there's no correct answer here, okay? We can use those things as tools. There will be times in my life that I will choose to take more supplements, and times I said, okay, that's enough. Now food is all I need. It's okay. I have an access to really good quality food, which is great. So it can be something that I can lean on and get help from, but it doesn't need to be something I depend on. Okay, the supplements need to supplement the food. It's not instead of the food. Okay, now let's talk a bit about weight, because it's impossible not to. I mean, we're women here talking, so it's something that you saw like in the mothers, the things that mothers are interested in. A lot of the talk is about weight. So I'll move myself again and let's say some things about it. So during breastfeeding, it's very important not to do like strict dieting. It's okay, you can take all sorts of diets which are more comfortable, not something really strict that you're really you don't have a lot to eat and you have to really question yourself. And many women want to go back to the weight that they had before pregnancy, but you have to remind yourself that our bodies changed. It went through a process. It might take some time, and it's okay. Okay, it took some 9 months to get pregnant. For some women, even more. Some women had fertility treatments, which caused their bodies to take a toll. So it might take some time to lose weight, but so a strict diet is not recommended. Okay, there is this area in our body that is referred to as the breastfeeding belt, the hips, the buttocks, the waist, which is like storage. Okay, so before so it was thought that breastfeeding women can lose weight easier and faster than non-breastfeeding women, but today we know that it's not necessarily true. But the breastfeeding belt can trim down faster for breastfeeding women, compared to those who are not breastfeeding. So it's something of comfort maybe for us. Regarding calories, we don't need to eat a lot. Of course, we don't need to eat for two, not in pregnancy and not while breastfeeding, but we need to eat to get around 300 to 500 calories more than we had before, because breastfeeding takes energy to create. We need to create this milk. Yeah, we have this superpower that we make milk, and we need the energy for that. I don't believe in calculations and to be like stressed about I'm eating this, I'm eating that, is that enough, and to write down everything, or apps about that do the calculations for us. That's not something that's good for me. There might be women that it's good for them, so you can use those tools. Usually we have a very powerful tool to help us understand how much more we will need, and that's the hunger cues and the satiety cues. We want to eat, we're hungry, so we eat until we're full, until we're done. And that's enough. The body has its signals, and we just need to listen. Okay, we need to learn to listen. It sounds absurd, okay, but many women, many people, not just women, yeah, many people don't know their hunger cues. They don't listen to their hunger cues. They're really, they're used to eating by the clock, or eating when everyone else is eating, or eating until you finish up your plate. But there are those very powerful tools, those cues that come from our bodies, and it's an amazing tool to just to adjust your ear, your inner ear, to what your body is telling you. We do it easily with our babies. Yeah, we know when they want to eat. We know when they are full, when it's enough for them. So it's the same for us as well. It's not different. We just need to adjust our inner listening to ourselves, and to eat when we are hungry, and to stop eating when we are full. As simple as that. Of course, when I'm talking about it, I'm referring to foods that are not processed, okay? Like natural foods that are as close as possible to their origin, okay? When we're talking about processed foods, it's something that can obscure our listening because it's too sweet, too salty, too crunchy, too tasty, because there are so many additives there that can disrupt our inner circuits. So when you try to make sure that the nutrition that you have at home is mostly as close as possible to its origin, to the basic, it has to be. It doesn't have to be, tasteless. Of course, there are a lot of natural tastes, and we'll talk about stuff like that in the end, towards the end. So, but try to remember that if you feel that you still want to eat more, try to see what's on your plate. Is it something processed or natural based? Okay. The breastfeeding mother has the right and the opportunity to adjust and improve her diet, even if only due to the fact that her body is currently caring for someone else and should not be found lacking in nutrition. So this caring for someone else, this cause, that external cause to myself, is a good excuse, but it's something that can help us to make like good adjustments for us for now. So, do we to eat a lot or to drink a lot? Apparently, the amount of food and drink that breastfeeding women consume doesn't affect the amount of milk that we produce. Okay, so it makes no sense to eat more or drink more than our bodies need to. It won't do any good to the milk supply. It will just go to our fat stores. Underweight is an unusual condition. Underweight is connected to the idea of maybe interruptions in milk supply and milk production. So women who are underweight might have a problem with milk production, but it's such an unusual condition. It's so rare that it's not something that we probably most women will find themselves dealing with. And of course, for everything that is out of the norm of the regular, the basic, I advise you to consult with a professional, either doctor or nutritionist in your area, to get like personal recommendations for your nutritional status and health. We can see, especially here in Laleche, that there are varied menus around the world. So women in many places eat very different things. I'm not talking just like processed versus not processed food. Even just in many places, there are a lot of cultures around food, and some people eat more meat, some people will eat dairy, some people will not eat all those. Some societies are more doesn't eat animal products, vegetarian. So some will eat more vegetables, some will vary between summer and winter. So, and all the women around the world, most of them can make milk just as the other women. It doesn't really have to depend on certain foods. Of course, there are personal varieties, okay? And in our Western world, which has like the idea of abundance, maybe in many places the food is not that abundant, but still in the abundance of food in the Western world, there are a lot of deficiencies, because the abundance here, I say like that because usually it will be around grains and flour and sugar and processed foods. So the foods that contain a lot of the like micro and micronutrients that are needed in our bodies. So those foods, we will be lacking those foods because we will be eating a lot of carbs and flour and sugar, stuff like that. So there can be a lot of deficiencies. So in those next slides, there are lists and lists, which I don't want to get into them so much in deep. You can read it, like vitamins that are especially important while breastfeeding. Those can be the B vitamins, B6, folate, B12, and vitamin C, and also these are the water-soluble vitamins, and we have the oil-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, and E. If you look at where can we find the mostly those nutrients, you can see that it's in the basic food, the foods that are closer to the origin: vegetable, fruit, nuts and seeds, meat, dairy, poultry, eggs, legumes, whole grains. So everyone can choose, of course, from this big variety of foods or families of foods, what to include in our day-to-day nutrition. And we can always go deeper. We can always use to salad, which is usually lettuce and tomato and onion. Maybe we can include some more leafy greens or some peppers or beets and stuff like that. So we can vary our salads, we can vary our foods, and it goes like that for other foods as well. So this is the most important thing to remember. Also with minerals, we're talking about minerals that can affect, especially the deficiencies in those nutrients, mostly will affect the breastfeeding mother, because we have the storages, we have the basic amount which the babies will take with their milk. Okay, if we have those nutrients in our bodies, in our blood, it will be present in the milk as well. But for some nutrients, if we won't have them in our blood, then there won't be anywhere else to take it from. Breast milk is not, it is magic, but it's not magical in a way that it will, create something that is not there. So we need those nutrients. We need magnesium and calcium and iodine and selenium and zinc and everything else, okay? And again, these things you can see is the same groups of food, okay? In the nuts and seeds, in the fish, in the oils, the natural oils, in the animal products and vegetables and fruit and everything. So these are the things that we want to aim to broaden the consumption of them. Of course, it has to be according to our tastes, our nutritional beliefs, or religion. There are all sorts of way to choose and to decide what do I eat and what I cannot eat. Money also plays a role here. If it's very expensive, then it's not affordable. So we cannot eat it a lot, but maybe we can eat it once a month. Okay, maybe I cannot afford eating high quality fish where I live, or high quality grass-fed meat, but because it's expensive. But maybe once a month is okay. Once in 3 months is okay. Okay, so everyone can see how they can adjust those ideas and see what fits their lifestyle choices. Also, after the vitamins, minerals, of course, essential fatty acids, which are really important while breastfeeding, well, even before we become pregnant, and during pregnancy and after delivering babies and while breastfeeding. We know today that even the formula companies, that they will put in fatty acids because they know it's important. So it's something that we can include in our daily or weekly or monthly nutritional plan. And if we cannot get good quality sources for some sort of nutrients, then we can maybe use supplements. I talked about in the beginning, it could be a compromise. Okay, sometimes that's what I have, so I will use that. This is just example. It's what in Israel is recommended, the health guidelines for supplements during pregnancy and lactation. Every country should have these recommendations, so you can look up in your own country, in your own language, the health ministry, to see what is recommended, because it also depends on weather and soil and water in the area that you live in. Okay, and of course it has to do with more knowledge that we have. Iodine is fairly new. A new supplement that was added to this list in the last few years in many countries. So things, they change, they adjust when we have more knowledge from studies, etc. I want to talk a little bit about fats. Fats are found in mother's milk does not affect the amount of fat that will be found in breast milk. So if I will eat more fat, my breast milk won't become more fatty, okay, more satisfying for the baby. But I have the ability to influence the composition of the fat, okay, inside the mother's milk that I make. Okay, so if I eat like the wrong kind of fats, then this will be in my blood and in my breast milk. And if I eat the right kind of fats, which are naturally derived from nuts and seeds and fruit or animal products, then these kinds of fats will be present in my breast milk. Okay, so again, another way to look at about the choice to eat more natural based foods, which come from natural sources that I can recognize. Okay, even though I don't grow up cows in my backyard, or even lettuce at the moment. There were times that I did grow lettuces, okay, or even chickens, but now I don't. Okay, but I know how cows are grown. I know how lettuce is grown. So this is something that I can use my imagination. But if you look at, I don't know, even the common bread in the stores, what are the ingredients in this bread? It's not just wheat and salt and water and some kind of yeast. Usually there are like 3 lines of ingredients. There are many additives that are there to keep the bread looking like it is, so it can stay on the shelf for as long as I need it or want it. So and it has a toll. Okay, it has a price, and we have to see if we want to pay this price, if it's okay for us to pay this price. Okay, let's talk a little bit about gas or colic with babies, because for many women, it raises the question, is it connected to something that I eat? Maybe if I eat this, it will cause my baby to be colicky. Maybe if I stop eating those foods, my baby will feel better. So usually gas or colic is something that mothers would say is present around like the first 3 months of life of babies. Is it always something that happens to every baby? Are all the babies gassy or colicky? I don't think so. Okay, with my personal 4 children, there were never colic periods or times. So personally, I never dealt with that. I know there are many women that mothers that do deal with that. So it's very personal, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. I mean, when a mother or a father, when parents tell me that their baby is colicky, so I will always ask more questions. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Are there times in the day when it's more, when you notice it more? Is it, can it be connected to daytime, nighttime, to being more active or being more tired at the end of the day? Are there more siblings around? Maybe we're really busy with the siblings and the little baby needs some more attention that we cannot give it at that right time. Are there any things that can, okay, we think about the possible reasons. Okay, so of course nutrition is something that rises up really quickly, but there can be some more reasons, not just dieting or food choices. And we can see that sometimes proper breastfeeding management will improve the situation in a very significant manner. Okay, to let the baby finish up and finish up by itself, to eat up from one side before we give it the option to start nursing again from the other side. Because for some mothers, they will breastfeed for 10 minutes and then they will move to the other breast again. So maybe the baby didn't finish up. Maybe didn't get enough of that fatty milk that comes in later. So it also can be an issue. So what I say that I cannot say that nutrition it takes all the blame, and I cannot say that it's BS, okay? Because for some women, when they will stop eating some certain foods, they will feel that their baby is better. So it's usually right when women have intolerances or even allergies to certain foods. If you know that when you eat milk or dairy products, you get constipated or a bit gassy, or you don't feel comfortable in your tummy, but you keep on eating it because it's tasty, you like it, has a good taste. It's very available, affordable. It closes a corner. We say in Hebrew, literally, because it's like, okay, so I ate now something and I'm full for now, so I can go on with my baby or with my children, and I don't need to think about food. But maybe if I have reaction to that, it will affect my baby, my nursing baby as well, because I won't digest it completely. So there will be some nutrients that won't be digested properly, and they will be in my blood, and they will go to my milk, and they will affect the baby while he's eating the milk. Okay, so it's something to consider, and there are many things that you can do, which are not to put a mother on a very strict diet, because that also happens. There are mothers that find themselves eating very restricted diet, and it doesn't feel great at all. And you see, okay, maybe the baby is okay with that, maybe not even, but I have to do that. I cannot eat this. And some mothers don't really feel that great about that. And it's also a problem when a mother is breastfeeding and she doesn't feel that good. She feels like she's sacrificing a lot, not eating enough or nice food. It's a problem. The way I see it, it's a problem. I think that a woman after birth needs to eat and feel good about eating things that she loves, and that make her feel good, that she likes to eat, that give her body like good sense of satisfaction, because we work hard, we need to recover from birth, and we need to adjust to a new lifestyle, even if we have like even 2-3 children and the fourth or fifth comes in, and we need to adjust again. So if we'll eat right, if we'll eat like things that we like, it will be really nice. So I suggest to try and think about other ways, not just nutrition, to try to deal with colic or gas. Let's talk a little bit about foods that are considered to increase the milk production. So there is traditional knowledge. It's also called lactogenic diet or lactogenic food. So we have like traditional knowledge in many places in the world, where women are advised by their mothers and grandmothers and aunts and neighbors to eat this or not eat that. And you have to eat this food or this herb or this soup or this dish, even if you don't like it, but this is what breastfeeding women should eat, okay? So there's a lot of history there, especially in non-Western cultures. And you can, of course, combine it with foods that you eat, take it as supplements. For some women, they don't like those foods, but they eat it anyway because it's tradition. So again, like I talked before, I think we should really like what we eat and not eat things that we don't like or doesn't make us feel good, because it also registered there somewhere, So some things that are you can hear about, like brewer's yeast or oats and oatmeal and whole grains. And there are also exotic plants and fruit, like the tropical leaves of the moringa tree, torbangun in Indonesia, hops, pollen in Europe. So there can be many traditions there. And if you like it, then excellent, it's great. And if you don't know it and you want to get to know it, it's also good to explore new things. And if you find yourself that that's not for me, I don't like it, don't like the smell, don't like the taste, but so try not to feel pressured to eat those things. The way to make more milk is to breastfeed more. And if there is a challenge there, then you should consider talking to a specialist in the lactation field and to see what you can do to help the situation. There are also specific herbs are called galactagogues, which are sometimes needed. Some women might feel that they will need to take those. You can see those like in forums and Facebook groups or do I need to take this, or do I need to take that? And if a woman has a compromised milk production, milk supply, we want to understand why in the beginning. And there can be many reasons for that. So it's not that every breastfeeding woman, mother, should take those things, the galactagogues, which can be herbal or medicinal. So we should work with refer this woman to a professional to see what's the situation, to get a diagnosis, to have recommendations that are specifically for this person, yeah, and to have like a follow-up if there is if there are recommendations. So I want to know if it works, if what we're doing is in the area that we want to go to. So we need follow-ups there. So there can be many reasons that come from the mother side or the baby side or the combination between them. So we need a very good diagnosis here. We need to ensure proper breastfeeding management, and we need to take into consideration special conditions like premature or hospitalized babies, like mothers with hormonal issues, all sorts of hormonal issues, things that she had like before pregnancy, or things that occurred while pregnant or after pregnancy, after delivery. Some women will want to increase their milk supply because they need to go back to work or to study. In some cases, it will be connected to adoption, surrogacy, or breastfeeding sharing. So there's a lot of information that we need to gather here in order to get the right recommendation. So like the questions, the answers in the Facebook groups or forums or WhatsApp discussions, they're very, very general. And when women really need that help, need those answers, they need it specifically for them. And hopefully with another professional person, working with them towards their goals. Okay, so there's the breastfeeding medicine updated protocol regarding those galactagogues. It's protocol number 9. All the protocols are being updated every few years, so you can follow up when you need that. So I talked a lot about concepts, about lifestyle choices, different kind of diets, and nutrition, nutrients, different kind of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, fatty acids. So there are a lot of things. It's a lot of information and can be overwhelming. I'm not a professional. I don't know all these things. How can I implement that to my nutrition, to my diet, to my day-to-day life, to our family choices? So let's talk a little bit tachles, like we say in Yiddish, Hebrew. Let's talk a little bit about the day-to-day things. And I can share with you some concepts that I usually share with the women that I work with. And it's la'eche, so we like to look at the ideas and recommendation like a buffet. You can decide which concept, which idea you like, and to take it onto your plate. And you can decide, okay, this is not for me. I don't like that. This is out of my boundaries. So you can decide for yourself what's best for you. Okay. So I really like to suggest to do really easy things. So oven for me is an easy thing. Oven is a friend. You can use the oven because you prepare things and then you put it in the oven, and then the oven makes all the work. So you can do whatever you want there. And we know that we eat with our eyes also. So when we see things that are different, in different colors, with spices, then it will you know, it will light up things in our minds and say, okay, if it's orange, if it's red, if it's yellow, if it's all the colors. So it's really nice. So to make like all sorts of vegetables with some oil for your choice. I like olive oils or coconut oil. Avocado oil is also nice with some spices. So you can have like a very variety of vegetables, and even try to put in things that you don't usually eat, okay? Or you don't usually, you like it, but you don't usually put it in the oven, okay? Another thing is batch cooking. To cook in big amounts. Either you have a big family, which makes sense, or you don't have a lot of time. Say, okay, I'm cooking now, so I'll cook meatballs. These are meatballs that I put in the oven. Okay, so instead of doing, I don't know, half a kilo of meatballs, then maybe I can do 2 kilos and freeze. You know, I can divide it after that to according to the amount which is nice for me. I don't know, per meal or per I don't know, for per person, and then I can freeze it. And it's nice that you have food in your freezer that it's prepared, it's cooked ahead, maybe needs a little bit of heating. I like also things that are condensed, like pies. This is this is a beef and green leaves with eggs. So it's like a pie, and it's very condensed. So every bite is very satisfying. It's very delicious, very satisfying. You don't need to eat a lot from that, and you're satisfied, you're good to go. Okay, so all sorts of pies and gratin, whatever you call it, vegetables or meat with eggs, with cheese or no cheese, whatever your recipe is. It's very good that it's a concentrated food that you can eat also with one hand, which is great. Well, breastfeeding. Okay, I also like the long-term cooking. So you put whatever you want in a crock pot or an iron casserole pot that goes into the oven. I like the oven, I told you already. And you can put whatever you want there: vegetables, meat, chicken, without animal products, whatever, and some spices, seasonings, and you put it in the oven for how long as you need it, like a few hours, even overnight. There are dishes that you can put overnight that you can wake up in the morning and you have like a whole meal, which is nice. Or you put it in the morning and then you have a meal in the evening. Also, so there are all sorts of techniques for doing that, but it's really easy. It doesn't take a long time to prepare. You don't really need to do like fine or micro cooking stuff, preparations and stuff like that. You can put chunks of meat, some vegetables which are big. You don't need to do a lot with them, and some seasoning, and that's it. Easy. Another example of a whole chicken in the oven with vegetable. And like I said before, we really like colors. I mean, when you look at this picture, you look at the colors and say, I like those colors, even if I don't like beets, okay? Even if I don't like squashes, but the colors, they're really, you know, I get hooked up by those colors. So find a way to make your food colorful. It's nicer, it's easier to eat, it's more tempting. I mean, it's the way we like makeup, we like clothes, we like things that are colorful. So it's really, really nice to eat like that as well. And sometimes we don't have a lot of time and we need to eat, so we can do only one thing, okay? Only cauliflower in this, okay? I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of vegetables at home. I have only one thing. So you cut the cauliflower, you put some oil and some salt even. You don't need to do a lot, and put it in the oven and it will do the rest. And you'll have something that is cooked, okay? You can eat it like that. You can add sesame butter. Here in Israel, in the Far East, in the Middle East, it's a big thing, tahini. So you can eat cauliflower with the tahini. You can eat it with yogurt or cheese. Okay, you can eat it with a dip or something, or leftovers that you had from cold leftovers or whatever. So even if sometimes we would like to make something that is a lot, and sometimes one thing is also good. Okay, to make me going, to keep me going for the next level, for the next hour, for the next half day. Okay. Sometimes I will suggest to parents that, when in many families it goes like that. I know it's not always like that, but many families, the mother stays at home with the child and the father goes out to work, father, spouse, partner, whatever. And so I might suggest to a family that the father will, before leaving, prepare something beforehand. It could be tahini, the sesame butter. It could be tzatziki, like that, or salad, or something that he can prepare that's easy for them to prepare, for the mother who stays at home and hopefully stays sleeping a little bit with the baby. So she has something that is ready for her to eat. And sometimes we will prepare things beforehand. Okay, with these peppers, we need to prepare them. You need to put them in the oven, then to take out the skins and stuff like that. So if we prepare things in advance, we can try to do it in bigger amounts, so it can last for a longer time. So we don't need to make it, to prepare it every day, every time. Okay. What else do we have here? Shakes. I love shakes, smoothies, whatever you call them. So it's a great way to put everything in a blender, high-speed blender, whatever you have, and then you can get a very nutritional drink if you put good ingredients inside, of course. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be just like tropical smoothie or something like that. You can add inside nuts and seeds and their butters, or some collagen or protein powders, and some superfoods or spices that you like. Cinnamon is great for those who like it, and different sorts of vegetable of fruit. And some people also like vegetables. Some people will like green leaves. So it's very versatile and can be very, very satisfying. Nice, also like a treat. And sometimes you can just prepare something very like small thing, like a muesli or granola, or just some fruit with some nuts, and that's it, with yogurt, without yogurt, with heavy cream. So it's also a possibility, not like a big meal. It's something that also possible to make it quite quickly if you have the ingredients at home. Okay, if you have some fruit, if you have nuts and seeds at home, so it might be easier to just put everything in a plate and have that. But for that, of course, you have to think ahead. What do I need to have at home? And so remember that what we talked about is a versatile diet that is based on natural foods and foods in their origin form. So the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and the seeds and the butters, okay, and the grains and the legumes and the animal products and eggs and dairy, yes or no, and superfoods. So whatever you need, so you need to try and have those things handy. If you have it at home and it's handy, it's easier to prepare quicker meals that can really get you the nutrition you need, the satiety that you need, the good feeling that you need. Okay, and on an everyday basis, and of course while we're breastfeeding, so it's more important. Sometimes we can do it really simple. So we just take the chicken breast and put it with some seasoning and put it in the oven, and some oil, something like that. You don't need to fry it. You don't need to do anything. So you can take the idea, even if you like the chicken breast on the grill, or like I don't know, whatever preparation. It might be just easier to take and to simplify the things that you like, and it can also be nice. So you can get like the small adjustments or small compromises that can also be very, very good for us on a day-to-day basis. So there are days like that and days like that, days that we have more energy or less energy, we slept more or less, we have more help or less help, we have more motivation or desire to do something like bigger, or days that we are okay, I need the basic today, just basic to get me through this day, so I know that I ate some good stuff. And there's always tomorrow. Okay, we can always aspire for tomorrow. If today didn't come out the way we wanted to or hoped for, so tomorrow we'll gather our energy and maybe get some help and maybe get some inspiration from cruising through Instagram, Facebook, talking to a friend about what she's cooking, and or even order food and eat that. So it's okay. The main idea is to have open mind, I think, about nutrition, to take into consideration the things that we talked about, which are a lot, I know. So hopefully this conversation gave you a lot of food for thought also, and not just craving for the next meal and running to the kitchen to see what do I have today. I was very happy to talk to you about this subject. Of course, my main language is Hebrew, but you can also reach me English, or today we have the Google Translate, so we can try to communicate in other languages as well. It's a challenge, but we keep an open mind, right? So I have, of course, in Hebrew, a blog that talks about nutrition and recipes, that it's around for 10 years now, since 2011. So I have there many ideas. Even if you don't understand Hebrew, you can look at the pictures and see and get some ideas. And I have a Facebook group. It's Vered's Lab Open Kitchen. That there are a lot of discussions and recipe ideas and inspiration and whatever you need. And if you need to contact me, you're more than welcome. And I hope you enjoy this very interesting international conference to celebrate the 65 years of Laleche League, which is amazing that we're here for 65 years. So I hope we will continue doing what we're doing and opening our minds and expanding more and more and getting more new ideas and like the ideas, and to see how we can get them also to our plate. So it will be also practical, not just idea for research. So thank you very much for listening and for being here with me, and enjoy. Bye-bye.